What what up? It's the principal. I'm taking a little time off. New year, new podcast. JB Mathers, the honorable, obviously. He is Michael Dominic, aka Semi Pro, getting it done down in Scottsdale, Arizona. When he is not yelling at neighbors or women on the HOA board, he is joining us here on It's the Principal. And Mikey, long time no talk, but I know since then you and the sub 70 boys took a little trip to Tucson. You hit Scottsdale, and obviously I'm fucking pissed because you went to Whisper Rock without me. But all in all, how was the trip with Violent J Armor and the gang himself, Scott Niedergang?
The gang, the peaceful Scott Nieder gang. It was a fantastic trip. As you know, you always have the invite. You're one of the very few privileged one of my friends that has played Whisper Rock. Even though you broke one of the tee boxes, tee markers,
not just a tee box, the very first tee box.
We have it on video, and it is a phenomenal tee shot. You got a good laugh at it, Tim, and all that. No, so long story short, these guys catch the 6:30 a.m. flight out of Chicago O'Hare, fly direct on American first class. Jay had about 12 beers on the way to Tucson, and we know Jay can't really handle his liquor all that well.
And that's the way married with kids guys, that's the way they roll, with your bachelor party coming up, which we'll talk about. Women, they're always worried about the single guys. Ain't the single guys you got to worry about. It's the married with kid guys who, when they get that hall pass, it's all in.
Melissa's been having nightmares about the bachelor party, and I just say, honey, we are in good hands. We have Uncle Jib, Uncle Mike, Uncle Other Mike, and Uncle Nick Bertel. But yes, I don't think Nick Bertel is going to be part of the moral community.
I see this guy at his own country club absolutely annihilated. I can't wait to see what he's going to be like in Cabo San Lucas, because he doesn't give two fucks and he's married with kids.
When you have to have the bar call your wife to come get you at 3 p.m., that is never good. Never good. But luckily for him, he abided by the law, and she came and got him and got out. So anyway, I picked the boys up at Tucson International Airport. Go to Tucson Country Club. My boy Brian Prouty from Tucson played at U of A, played on the Corn Ferry Tour for 10 years. Shout out to Rowdy Prouty. We had lunch. He shows up cold turkey, shot a smooth 31 on the back to take our cash. Guy can still bomb it. He ends up going with us to the U of A Colorado basketball game that night at 9:30, and we sat there and we sat 8 rows off the court, and it was phenomenal.
Who lined up these tickets? Was that Niedergang with an alumni special?
No, Niedergang is not an alumni person. Niedergang has no Arizona connections whatsoever, even though he preaches how good the school was to him when he was there. I have Humboldt State
what a
alumni
shitty alumnus. I mean, he doesn't at least send like a G a year.
Unbelievable. Our tickets got hooked up through our boy Brett Anger at EIR, through his client connection, who has season tickets at U of A. Brian Rowdy Prouty was able to get 2 tickets at the other end, right on the same level that we were at. So we sat separate for a little bit. Then we kind of came together because there wasn't a completely packed house. So Prouty was able to text a guy and get tickets in about 30 seconds. Niedergang couldn't get anything. He was going to pay for it.
How is the talent level at U of A?
I mean, their basketball team is really good. I'm kidding. No, the talent level is phenomenal.
I'll go ahead and check the scoreboard for that.
The talent level is pretty unbelievable. I can't say too much because wife-elect, she went to ASU, which, as we know, the talent at ASU is phenomenal. Yeah. You've been there, you know it, you live, you laugh, you love it. But U of A was impressive.
I've been to U of A a couple times. It was funny. Humboldt State, 2 years in a row, opened up the season against Sean Miller and U of A, and it looked like it was going to be a long-standing tradition. U of A had one rule. You FedEx your game film to them. You do not send it any other way. Humboldt State UPS'd the video to Arizona, and we've never been back since. So when they say FedEx it, FedEx it. If somebody says there's not a difference in FedEx and UPS, just throwing that out there to Sean Miller, there is a difference.
Was that the year that Sean Miller was paying DeAndre Ayton $140,000 a year to go to school there?
No, this was pre-DeAndre Ayton. This was like Oh God, I'm trying to think who was on that team in the league, but no, this has got to be 10 years ago now. Back when Humboldt State was, a perennial power in the Division II prowess. But I just remember DJ Broom actually getting it done out there pretty well amongst the trees in
Yeah.
Tucson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, I think U of A this year, I think they're ranked seventh right now, maybe, or maybe higher than that. I haven't checked the rankings this week, but when we actually play Colorado, I mean, they absolutely stomped on Colorado. They got three guys that are 7 feet tall. They got 6'10" shooting guards. They're an absolute talent and a force to be reckoned with. And even, the basketball stadium down there was phenomenal. I've never been to a game there, the McHale Center, and I'm sorry if I say that incorrectly because I know how offended they get. But the McHale Center was great. It's a 12,000 person stadium. You got Steve Kerr, Jason Terry's jersey up there, probably Stoudemeyer. All those guys are retired up there. Mike Bibby. It's a cool venue to watch a game. It's also nice, except the bathrooms are outside. I know it's
It doesn't rain in Arizona. You get away with that.
Outside. Come on, man. I don't want to go 30 rows up. Whatever. Beers were expensive, but at least they served beers in there. We were happy. So we had to cut it short. We were going to go, we went to Frog and Fern that night. We got pizza. The pizza was phenomenal. Had a couple snake bites with Niedergang, throwing back memories, walk through the campus. Then we were going to go to
Niedergang, get a shot of penicillin just like old times.
Oh, geez Louise. I don't even know. I mean, he kept telling me about all the academic buildings. I'm like, come on. I'm you went to school. You went to class.
You're in real estate, bro. Come on. You didn't study that hard.
Yeah. Definitely did not study that hard. So, but anyways, we were going to go to some bar, some dive bar on the way home, but poor Jay fell asleep at the basketball game with his mask over his eyes. And then the guy's sitting there in front of him with the sign going, put your mask on properly, and Jay's just sleeping, and I go,
oh, you guys in Arizona or California? Jeez.
I know. So we stayed right next to the campus, woke up the next morning, drove up Friday, chatted the entire way. It was a great time. We got to Scottsdale. Of course, everywhere we go, the guys are like, do I have to put a mask on? And I said, no, this is the United States here. You don't have to put a mask on. This is not Tucson or Chicago or Seattle, the USSR. No, you don't have to put a mask on. So we went and had lunch at the Pinnacle Peak Country Club, had some diner burgers, some tacos.
Solid food, solid cocktails.
The good stuff. Played that day. Went to Mastro's that night. I'm sure you saw the
Ocean Club, or which one did you go to?
No, the original Mastro's up here where the PGA Tour guys go. So we went there with Uncle Chip.
For the record.
You are an Ocean Club guy. But here's the thing though. You live on the coast. Why would you get seafood out here? I don't understand.
I've never actually, if it wasn't for the seafood tower that Uncle Larry ordered, I would not have gotten any seafood. Let's just say that's not the reason I prefer Ocean Club to the OG Mastros. I like the bar setting and the people watching a little better. Having that said, it is a little spendy. I was shocked when I got the opening round of drinks and most guys just got beers and I was like, oh, I'm going to grab a Hunsky here and I'll leave me plenty for change for later. Nope, that pretty much evaporated the entire thing. I'm glad Uncle Larry got there.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I don't even think dinner was as much as I, thought it would. I picked up the tab over there at Mastros for the boys. It was pretty good chunk of tab, but as when you come to Mikey's town, we normally pick it up unless Uncle Larry has to fight you for the bill, which I'm not going to fight Uncle Larry.
He can afford it.
Yeah, he can definitely afford
so Whisper Rock. Niedergang told me like he was rubbing elbows with Colton Nost and hanging out with the Ches Reevy, and he got to meet the owner, and he was so enamored with the developer, but he never actually knew the guy's name. Now, of course, Colton Nost, I remember running into him at Bevy when I was down there, him and Riggs at Bevy last April. And the highlight of that with bachelor parties I was there, of course, was I was absolutely annihilated and couldn't stop telling Colton Nost how great Bandit Dunes is because he's never been north of Pebble. And finally, he had enough of me. He's like, dude, leave me alone, you drunk, you know what? And I was like, yeah, all good, Colton.
Don't blame him.
I'm surprised it took him that long.
Don't blame him. Here's the thing. He said he was rubbing elbows with sleeves. It's basically we were sitting there at our table with the OG Tim McAdam, member number 9. Founding member. Of course, he is cousins with Greg Trias. So Greg, he's like, you have to let me in or I'm going to kill you. And, whatever. So he did. But anyway, so we went and played the upper. We got all sorts of shots. We're on the range. We see Ches Reevy. And of course, Violent J picked him out right away. He was getting ready to go over to the American Express, shoot -5, missed cut by 1. long story short, we go play. The guys love it. The greens are rolling the fastest that I've ever seen them roll up there. Our caddy was phenomenal. He played golf at University of Minnesota. There were only a couple of balls lost all day. There was the boys only drank one transfusion, and then we more, as Colton the sleeves say, got amongst it afterwards in the men's locker room.
There you go.
So that's where Nost, Reevy, Stoltz, all those guys were sitting in there chilling. So that he's like, yeah, we were rubbing elbows. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that he was trying to see if he could get Colton Nost to autograph his jockstrap for him. I mean, you kind of know how it goes. It's like when Uncle Larry saw Andy North in there, and he just like,
well,
oh God,
let's not compare Colton Nost to Andy North. I mean, Andy North is a goddamn legend.
Well, that is also very true. That's also very true. But the guys had a great time. Timmy was great. He missed a putt on 8, and he just wouldn't let it go. So we got to hear about that for about
like
the next 2.5-3 hours. 100%. Yeah. 100%, man. I mean, like we love Uncle Larry, but Uncle Larry is a bit of a chronic complainer on the golf course about stuff he can't control.
Yes, and I've seen that worldwide for him. Pinnacle Peak, did you get a money game in with Chico? What? How did the boys enjoy Pinnacle? Did you get them out by the
no money game with Chico? Unfortunately for those guys,
asked to feel Violent J's muscles?
That is not That is strictly for Rodney and people that I guess have bigger arms than Violent J armor. From what you saw from the picture that we took at DC Range. So yeah, total dad bod.
Needs to mix in just a wee bit
is what Jay has.
All right, now so you said your wife's getting a little concerned about the bachelor party. It's coming together. We've got 8 guys plus the bachelor making their way down to Cabo. Obviously, your chick's a little nervous. I want to know, and I assume she's going to drop, like when she takes you to the airport, that's when she's going to drop like the do and do not do list on you. Because I
already have that.
This I already have that in the back of my mind. Bachelor party I've put together, and I crack up my first for my buddy Travis. He was informed not to go to the strip club. He told his wife to fucking deal with it because he's a cop, and cops go to strip clubs, and she can either get over it now or not marry him. They're happily married. Buddy Bo, his wife told him, you will absolutely not go to the strip club, and he dropped that bomb on me as we were leaving to go to the strip club. He did not go to the strip club. We went without him. His wife still walks all over him today. So my question, of course, for you is what are the ground rules that the Mrs. Dominic elect has put on you for the bachelor party?
No, I can basically do whatever I want. I mean, I'm obviously not going to go and do anything where I have to take some penicillin shots.
Right. We're going to keep
back
you
on the freaking plane.
No donkey.
Right. I made it this far with this girl. I love her to death. I'm not that kind of guy. But but it's just one of those things, I'm like, hey, but honey, I want to go hang with the boys. I want to play golf. I want to drink, I want to be a free guy for 4 days with my buddies and just not have a care in the world and go get after it. Like that's basically what I want to do. I don't want to feel like shit 24/7. I don't want to be a total lair and go to bed at 9 o'clock. It's like, somewhere right in between there, I can just have a good time.
You absolutely got after it all day long.
Which might be on the golf course if I have to play with certain people that are there. I might not even make it past the 6th hole. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't know.
I would say you need to load up.
Do not let Kyle come up with teams. I come up with teams.
Okay.
Do not let Kyle come up with teams. He can book the golf.
Well, he's in charge of the golf, so.
I know he's in charge. Of the golf. We have to have something. I mean, don't get me wrong. He can go ahead and do it. I just don't want you guys playing 7 and then Kyle and I playing 2 right behind you. That might be a little bit of a slow day.
Might slow down. I mean, him as a former assistant, I would not be surprised.
I will say this about Kyle that was interesting is you threw out the whole, hey, do you guys want to golf? Do you want to go zip lining, or do you want to go on
fishing, camel riding, whatever?
Deep sea fishing, camel riding in Mexico.
They offer that. That's a big deal in Cabo.
Oh my God. Anyways,
desert meets the sea.
But I'm sitting there going, dude, I want to do something manly, fucking golf and drink, deep sea fishing. And Kyle's like, I want to go zip lining. I was the one person that voted to go zip lining.
That's not true. Your boy Bertel was in for zip lining too.
Well, that's because I've ended up finding out that that's where they filmed the closing scene of Predator. is where you go ziplining down there. And I'm like, hey, that'd be really cool, but not when I'm drunk or hungover with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, if
Like,
I'm gonna kill myself in Mexico, it's because I drank too much or I ate some really, really bad fish. It's not gonna be because I went on some gypsy zip line. And I've heard stories. I'm not gonna give it a name, but there was a prominent CEO in Humboldt County that got in a real bad ziplining accident in Mexico, was never the same. And fortunately for he and his wife, who collided on the zip line that led to really bad injuries, they were part of a large medical group and they were able to get literally a private jet to fly them out of Mexico and bring them back to America.
that's an incredible story. Miracle day.
It's a miracle. A miracle too. For the record, thank God we're not going by the end of this month. I mean, it wouldn't happen anyways. But 1 week to go, and I will have made it through my second straight dry January.
You know, here's the thing. We were
That was
texting
another reason
earlier
I
this
couldn't
morning.
go with you guys.
Well, oh my God. Niedergang was doing a whole 30. That lasted about 4 hours. All of a sudden he's like, yeah, dude, I'm going to get the Cobb salad and a soda water, blah, blah, blah. And I'm finally like, bro, are you kidding me? Then Rowdy Proudy comes out, shows up, didn't hit any balls. He goes, buddy, I've been playing here since I was 6 years old. I know what I'm doing. How many drinks do you guys want? And we were like, it is on like Donkey Kong. And poor Jay didn't drink any high noons, and they had high noons. He didn't drink any high noons. But he must have downed another 12 beers on that golf course, and it was magical. Watching Violent J Armor stagger over, kind of like he does that little Sasquatch walk with the tall, lanky arms, and just dip his hand in the cooler and pull it out.
With that like Kermit the Frog voice of his. It's the best.
Oh God, he's got the deepest voice I think I've ever
heard. Deepest voice.
Just so you know, I know that you do a dry January and it makes you feel good. And it's,
well, it gives me an
11th
month. It gives me a hall pass for the next 11 months to absolutely get after it, which, I've got bachelor parties. I've got weddings to attend. We're still trying to figure out the single girls guest list at your wedding. So, I can power my way through all those with lots of cocktails.
I'm just saying this. All the people that I do dry February because it's 28 days a year. I do dry January because it's 31 days a year. Yeah, I'm so healthy and woke and all that other shit. If you take 1 day off of drinking a week, that is 52 days a year. And it's almost double what the month of January is, right? So, and also it's better for your liver. You give your liver 1 day off a week, you're good. Take it on a Monday. I knew you were a little bit, there's something going on. I was texting this morning because you called me a moron. And I knew that there's something going on with JB right now. He's doing a dry January.
It's funny. My brother in the real estate office has been real bitchy lately. And I'm like, dude, what is your problem? He's like, this goddamn dry January is killing me. It was hard last weekend because I was in LA. And for the record, Manhattan Beach, awesome place. And I'm sitting in OB's on Sunday watching Buccaneers Rams, two teams that I cannot stand. But I decided I'm going to root for the Buccaneers because Alex Kappa, Humboldt State legend, plays for the Bucs, and I absolutely hate the Rams with a passion. And so there I am. Not only are the Rams winning, but I'm in a goddamn Rams bar, and they're all cheering, and I'm just like, I didn't even know Rams fans existed. And suddenly I found like all 100 of them in one place, and it was brutal. But I realized, I can put some money on the game. And I don't need to drink because that like covers my degenerate factor during the game. The problem is when it's hard not to drink, it's when you check into the hotel, it's like 4:30 in the afternoon. And my natural instinct is to go down to the 7-Eleven, get a 12-pack of Coors Light, put the fridge on absolute ice blast, stick those in there, get the Warrior game going or whatever ESPN shit game they got going on a Friday night, and just sit in that hotel room and just live the dream.
Yeah, like the Clippers Nuggets.
Yeah, but like think about it. If you're not drinking and you're sitting in your hotel room, what are you going to do?
Nothing. Well,
absolutely nothing.
I can name a few things, but I'm not going to say them on here.
Well,
but
I was by myself.
I'm just saying, but yeah.
Okay.
I was by myself. I was Johnny Drama in it. No, but I just, even if you're doing a dry January and you want to drink a few C minuses, right? Is Coors Light really even drinking?
Well,
I just have to say it.
When I first started doing it, people were like, what do you want to have to drink first? And I'm like, oh, it depends what kind of mood I'm in, this, that. Literally the thing I find myself craving, ice cold beer. Like whether it's a Coors Light, Modelo, Corona, it won't be an IPA, but anything that's like refreshing and ice cold a week from today, let's go. It's on.
All right, so
and then golf was. I'm going to be down at the Pro-Am next week, down at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Oh man, I'm going to throw one back there.
Dude, I want you to say hi to my boy Wyndham when you're down there. I don't know if he's going yet. If he's running on a hot streak, he might.
Let me know
a lot of guys.
Yeah,
he would love that. But the thing, like a lot of guys don't go to Pebble because the weather's unpredictable. You got Bill Murray running in your line. It's
7-hour rounds, but these goddamn PGA pros are slow, so I don't want to hear them complaining about the amateurs anymore.
They're so fucking slow. Well, how about going over to golf and football? And the one thing I will say about football
the weekend is amazing.
I predicted a month ago that it was going to be Rams Chiefs.
Oh,
in the deal. I didn't bet it. No. I predicted it. And you know why? If you go back to when the Lakers and the Kings played in 2002 and David Stern goes, my ideal final matchup would be the Lakers versus the Lakers because of the TV money.
Lakers versus Lakers would be an impressive matchup.
Lakers versus Lakers. I guarantee you they tie every game. But you look at it, the Rams move to LA. They get Matthew Stafford. They sign OBJ. You now have Von Miller, right? They're so overpaid. Aaron Donald's a beast. We've heard Slaw talk about it for months now. But if you have LA in the Super Bowl against the most popular team in the AFC, which is the Chiefs right now, that is going to be bozo TV bucks. You're making like $100 million more, whatever, than you were previously. So that was my deal. And the Rams have gotten skeptical calls in the past in order to get to the Super Bowl when they played the Saints and Drew Brees threw the pass down the sideline. And I can't remember even who it was, just absolutely lit the guy up 10 feet before the ball even got there. And there was no flag. And the NFL didn't even apologize. They're like, we want more money. Fuck you guys. So that was my prediction. The Niners and Bengals rematch of 1989.
And
81. Do not have a chance. I'm just saying it right. Do not have a chance. Even though the Niners.
Are you going to put your money where your mouth is?
100%.
You got to do a 2-team
100%. You got to do a 2-team parlay.
Rams to the Chiefs.
I'm doing 2-team parlay. Rams to Chiefs. Heard it here first.
Boom. There you go.
You heard it here first.
AKA Nostradamus, conspiracy Dominic. I do crack up the Rams imploring people not to sell their tickets to Niner fans. Like Ram fans are so LA. And I want to kind of say like, well, hey, Rams, stop fucking moving your team to St. Louis and here, there, and the other. And maybe you'll have fans. And then it's LA. People just don't
fuck the Rams.
I had never seen a Ram fan until Sunday. Yeah, then suddenly
no, exactly. And we'll just say this out loud. Fuck anyone who roots for any LA teams. I mean, you and I grew up, Northern California guys were loyal to the soil. Giants, Niners. Obviously, I want the Cardinals.
About my Oakland days.
Whatever. Yeah, but you sit there and you have i.e. Larry DeBaney, who sits there and he goes, oh man, my uncle was a Dodgers fan and I'm a big Dodger fan. It's like people from Denver, Colorado that are fucking Packers fans. Oh, I had one uncle that was a Packers fan and he really converted
me. Packers fans like a birthright.
God, dude. No.
Not having
No, I'm not having any of that shit. It's like the same thing. Like when Barstool Sports is the best thing with this. The Dallas Cowboys get eliminated, and then all of a sudden they go, well, they don't really have. They can root for the Lakers until the Yankees season starts.
Well, no, it was pretty funny, and it was like, yeah, tough year for Cowboy, Laker, Yankee fans,
and Alabama football fans.
That's right, and Alabama
football.
Can't forget about all the bandwagon teams that represent out there.
It's unbelievable.
So now is Wyndham on the fence about the Pro-Am because it's slow or because he's got to qualify? What's exactly? Or is he going to go?
Doesn't have to qualify. No, he doesn't have to qualify. He's fully exempt. The reason why, and it's not him. It's all the guys like Ricky Fowler. Would even be like, hey, I don't know if I want to go there because I might get stuck with shit weather. I don't want to play in it. I got this guy who's an amateur supposed to play with me who's shitting down his leg, and I got people walking in my line. They're 5.5 hour rounds of golf. And you're just kind of sit there and you go, is it worth it? Or do I go play Hawaii, San Diego, or Hawaii, Palm Springs, San Diego, take a week off and rest, go back to my pad in Scottsdale and chill, and just gear up for waste management, because waste
There are
management is when you want to win.
A lot of options out there for these guys. I will say they play slow enough on their own. They don't need help. And I think I brought this up before on the podcast. I don't know. I was drinking when we had the other ones.
I love that.
Still
That
don't
was
get
10
for the
a.m.
life of me why the PGA Tour plays the West Coast in the winter. Like, it's the only, I mean, it doesn't really rain in California anymore, but if it does, this is when it'll happen. Instead, in the middle of the summer, they're like in Milwaukee, they're in Florida. Like, why don't you come to the coast of California where the weather's perfect and it's not too hot, and I guarantee no rain. Instead, they're in Jupiter, Florida, where it's 88 degrees, the humidity is 1,000, and there's 100% chance some player is going to get struck by lightning.
Yeah, I can't answer that. There's other people that have better ideas on that than I do. But I mean, why don't you go there in June and July? I mean, I know that those are where, the major season now falls in, right? But they basically say, hey, we want to get the California swing. Sometimes we get good weather and it's fine. Sometimes we get fog, but then we'll go to Florida where the weather's going to be the same every freaking day. And then you have the wind blowing, maybe a little bit,
Florida,
some cloud cover, whatever.
I've lived in Florida. The weather's nice in the winter. They should be in Florida, and they need to like flip flop.
I 100% agree.
I get why they're not in Wisconsin right now. Okay, I get why the John Deere Classic is not being played, or the Quad City Sub 70 Jason Island Invitational.
Dude, I will say this in no disrespect to Jason and this Illinois crowd, but the John Deere fucking sucks. Like, you go.
I like the John Deere. The guys are going to shoot 100 under, and it's the last chance before they get in the British Open.
I get that. And there's lots of great stories that have come out of there. I'm just saying, when I was out there playing and doing the qualifier, number one, it is an absolute sweat pool out there. You're along the river. It's like living in Miami out there, like during the summer, except you don't have a beach and you don't have hot Colombian chicks, right?
It's like just, Miami, but the complete.
It's a cesspool. It's a cesspool. The course is okay. It's fine. It's whatever. But it's like you go out there, you sweat your balls off, and Moline as a town is just an absolute shithole. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. You have the casino there. Like, that was where my buddy qualified one year, and he saw like Spencer Levine out there, the next day after being at the casino all night, smoking a cigarette at 7:30 in the morning and just reeking of alcohol. And and I'm like, what else is there to do in Moline? That's where Matt Every got busted.
Shout out Spencer Levine. But that's also where Matt Every got busted for the guys that were in his room smoking a little Humboldt County hash, and the security guards, air quotes, security guards show up and they say, hey, we smell weed. He's like, well, it's not me. I'm like, well, why don't you go take a blood test? It's like, fuck. I don't understand. Had one drink, officer.
Yeah, Ossifer. I've only had one drink, and I swear to drunk, I'm not God. But yeah, but I mean, if you basically switch it up, and the other thing too is, like, these guys go to Texas, and it's like May and June down there. I'm like, how hot it is in freaking Texas at that time? Like, the weather's not good in Texas during the winter, but Texas at least has a good fall. You can go Texas, Mississippi. I don't know, maybe the Northeast in the fall is awesome. The Pacific Northwest in the summer is awesome. You can even have a tournament up there. I mean, go anywhere.
Maybe an occasional stop at everyone's favorite stop at Chambers Bay. Hey, props to next week. This week, the farmers at Torrey Pines, as they're going to start tomorrow so they can be done Saturday and officially just get out of the way so they don't get run over by the championship games on Sunday for the NFL.
Good for them. Someone finally figured it out. Max Homa said it last week on Twitter. He goes, how are we supposed to compete with football? Right. Yeah. I was going back and forth. I have Hudson Swafford and Lee Hodges, or whatever his name is, a Alabama guy who looks like a punk bitch version of Forrest Gump out there playing, hitting it 275 down the middle, shot a million under, which is great. But I have Hudson Swafford and Hodges, and I have who was the first game on Sunday? I know the second game because it's unforgettable. Rams and Bucks, right? And I hate the Rams, but I sit there and I go, I can either watch Tom Brady and possibly his last game come back against Matthew Stafford, who might be one of the biggest bitches in the NFL, or I could sit there and watch Hudson Swafford and Lee Hodges just go at it making 25-footers. Not that exciting for me. And that tournament gets terrible ratings every year. It's Palm Springs. I played.
It's kind of like golf is very similar to basketball. It doesn't start sometimes until football season's over. Now, I do like the waste management when it finishes right before the Super Bowl. Having that said, JB Holmes and company, don't go to extra playoff holes because I don't give a shit how good it is. We are out. Okay. We're leaving. We're off. Like the waste management should have like a coin flip or a KP or long drive. Just get it over with to make it happen. Hey, rounding out, speaking of San Diego, I want to hear how your qualifier went. I was down in San Diego a week or two ago, played the Farms, which two funny stories. So like Charlie Hoffman, speaking of just neater game like this, Charlie Hoffman, Xander Schauffele, this guy, Phil Mickelson, all members there. You knew as a course I should have steered clear of when on the website, Phil Mickelson says, yes, when I'm getting ready for the US Open, this is where I like to try to get my driver dialed in. Like the place was brutal. Has the best greens I've ever seen, though. I'll give him that for a non-open venue championship. Coolest part, Michael Jordan is a member there, has locker 23, shocker. His last round he ever played there was the day before his before his dad was murdered. Has never been back to the place since, but still plays his dues and still a member. What an OG MJ is.
I love MJ.
So
I was about to say OJ, but then I'm like, I don't really love OJ.
A little different there. Yes, a little different. Both very famous though. And both
very famous in different ways.
2 strokes. What happened? How come you didn't qualify? How come we're not talking about you playing at the Farmers this weekend?
Oh, dude, it was tough. So we did not play the Farm. I'll tell you this. It's something out of fucking Harry Potter. It was called Enagic Golf Club at Eastlake. It had a bright blue clubhouse and bright blue golf carts with purple logos. It was amazing.
Golf Now special.
It was amazing. So it took us an hour and 5 minutes. I had Wyndham's brother, Brendan, young Brendan, on the bag. He's placing sports bets and all this shit while we're out there. So it was great.
Smart.
Anyway, it took us an hour and 5 minutes to play the first 3 holes.
It's not good.
Hour and 5. I 3-putted 2 and I 3-putted 3, which it was 11 and 12, which were my second and third holes. So then after that, I grinded out, made some birdies, and then all of a sudden it's like I got every birdie opportunity look on the planet. I just striping it. And it was just a little misreads here and there. Now, like, it wasn't like I hit horrible putts. I did a good putt, and it was just like, if it went an inch this way, it would drop. And then all of a sudden I had to take an unplayable and make bogey. And then I made another bogey after getting stuck in the rough, and I hit a JB to the right, almost made a phenomenal up and down par. So I'm sitting there. I was actually at 3 over par. And I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm not playing that bad. So then we get to 17. I hit it into 12 feet out of 6 inches of rough. And Boo goes, hey, I'll buy sandwiches afterwards if you make birdie here. I go, oh, that's weird you say that. I just remembered something I was doing wrong with my putting. Boom, can the 12-footer. And then we go to 18. He goes, okay, double. He goes, you have to. It was basically like the validation rules in skins. And he's
right,
like,
absolutely got to validate it.
Got to validate. So he's like, you need to make birdie here, but you have to go for it too. It's a par 5 into the wind, 550 yards all over water. And it's like the Pete Dye railroad ties in front with the bunker. Pin is tucked 4 paces front left, 5 paces from the left edge. It is front left. Like you're a freaking serial killer if you go after this pin. So what did I do? I have to double down. So I hit 5 wood from the fairway after absolutely roasting the new sub 70 driver. Hit 5 wood from 220 into a pretty stiff breeze. 1 hop stop 6 inches from the cup. Tap in eagle. And I'm like, you know what? I think we still made. I got up there. I got there and I saw the scores and I just go, God, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like how many? This is my first tournament in 6 months. I just go, man. I go, how many putts I left out there, you know, or whatever. But you're like, hey, I played well, made a comeback late, didn't quite get through.
When's your next go?
That's all right. I got waste management February 1st, I think. McCormick Ranch Palm Course, which is so retarded. I'm going to say that before they cancel me. It is the most retarded golf course on the planet.
Anymore, Mikey.
It's stupid. Can I say stupid?
You can say stupid.
I don't know. It's kind of like what they say about
the 17th hole is impossible for the record. I hit the utility of my life off the tee, hit the utility of my life on the second shot. It's the island like Peninsula Green. I never saw the ball again. Very upset. And like a good golf hack, I went and I complained to the guy cleaning my clubs afterwards. And to his credit, he sat there and he listened. He's like, "Oh yeah, thoughtful. Oh yeah, yeah." Because there's nothing
Wait.
worse than telling people about your shitty golf shots.
The
17. It's a par 3 or par 4 with a bunch of water. It's right before you cross back over the street before par 5, the 18. And it's 16 or 17, whatever. It's a huge, there's just it's a big island green out there. You got to hit drivers too much off the tee. So you got to hit something like 230 off the tee, but then you're left.
Yeah, you're thinking of what's actually number 9. And yeah, if are you talking about
it was 18 the day we played it?
Yeah, then you went the other.
Right.
Yeah, it's an island fairway. There's room way to the right, but you can't quite reach it with driver. And then it has the island green with the bunker in the back. But the thing is, if you hit that fairway, it's great because it's dirt.
I hit the goddamn fairway.
It's dirt and goose shit. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. Like, I mean, you're almost better blowing driver 150 yards right and having a 6-iron in than trying to hit that island fairway.
I couldn't agree more. Good luck.
It's horrible.
Manager, looking forward to that. By the way, that Farms course is really hard. Oh, by the way, it's a golf club. It's not a country club. They like to.
Oh yeah, golf clubs are better anyways than.
By the way, it's a Pete Dye course to let you know what kind of sadist.
I will not play it. I will not play it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So next show we're gonna have NFL rock stars Matt Slauson and Danny Woodhead. Is this correct?
That is correct.
He must really owe you a favor.
I mean, that's what happens when your guests come to town and you comp their round, and then you get them all loaded up on waters. You know, you like a couple of your guys asked to take pictures with him in like an awkward way, stuff like that. But Woody's great. I talked to him yesterday. We were talking about, I don't know what he was wearing or something like that. And then I was like, hey, we got to do this. And the nice thing is I really hope they talk about the golf and us as experts can talk about the football.
Well, that's why we're the experts. I want to know what 35-year-old guys who are retired do for a living. I'm really curious to know. Do you really want to know? You sit there with your kids and you have a picture that says like dad material and you got the minivan on the t-shirt. Yeah, he does drive a minivan. That's a true story.
A Tesla and a minivan.
It's the principal. I'm the honorable. He's semi-pro, right?
Yeah.
Still,
that's correct. That's correct.
I hope we could drop the semi at some point, but we're not going to hold it. In the meantime, go sell some real estate, would you?
I was a full-time pro. Now I'm just semi-professional. We got the logo done. We got some merch coming to drop pretty soon. It's gonna be good.
All right.
Material.
Peace.